Hello and welcome to the North Bank podcast. I'm your host Holly. I'm joined by Steph and Chris. Hello guys.
Good evening.
It's the Interlull copyright Arsblog. I keep thinking Interlull is actually a word, but it's not, is it? If I say Interlull to a non-Arsenal supporting fan, they'll look at me as if I'm mad. But it is the international break, the final one of 2025. We're 4 or 5 days in. So good opportunity to talk about where we're at. Half-term report, or mid-term report if you're watching the other side of the pond. How are we doing? Are we doing grades? Are we doing numbers, Steph? Because most people listening will be of a similar vintage to us, and they'll be very much in the letters arena, as in ABC. Yes. But since 2017, it's been numerical. It's been a grade 9 and a grade 8 and a grade 7. So let's keep it ABC.
Looking at our analytics on some of our socials, by the way, people can watch on YouTube at North Bank Pod. See how I did that? Smooth. Oh yeah. Our listener demographic will be much more familiar with letters, it should be said. Absolutely right.
Why is it 1 to 9? Because you two being teachers, it's a bit Spinal Tappy, isn't it?
It's so you can have grade inflation, because when kids get so good at the paper and learning it, you can then add another grade to make it harder. Because
we had A stars, I think you could get A star is a bit silly, isn't it?
Star. Yeah, exactly.
So we'll eventually get to 11. Is my question.
You want a Spinal Tap. You're hoping by the time your youngest goes through, I've got a grade 11. Yeah, because why is it 11? Well, it's one better.
More.
I suspect it will be completely different again quite soon.
It'll be AI, like hologram teachers or something like that.
So look, a snapshot as to where we're at. It's pretty good reading, ignoring the feelings of the 2-2 draw at Sunderland. We're sitting top of the league. We're sitting joint top of the Champions League. In total this season, we've played 17 games. We've won 14, drawn 2, lost 1. That's pretty impressive. We've done all of that without key players in an attacking sense. And there was a little graphic did the rounds a few days ago, and it was our players and the number of games they've missed. So this is quite an interesting one to share. So we've played 17 games, right? So bear that in mind. That's your context. 17 games. Jesus has missed all 17. Havertz has missed 16. Madueke and Ødegaard have missed 12. Martinelli has missed 4. Saliba 2 and Gyökeres 2. I mean, that is a lot. I mean, Havertz to have missed 16 is a big one. But Madueke and Ødegaard have missed 12 each. That's a lot. And Ødegaard's been unlucky because that's 3 injuries, like the shoulder twice and then the knee-on-knee knack. And you just look, I mean, the Madueke one, apparently Madueke was really in contention to make the bench for Sunderland. And that made me feel worse because that last 15 minutes, which is presumably all he could have managed, like fitness-wise, would have been perfect for his profile. But alas, it wasn't to be. So, gentlemen, just before we go into a little bit more depth on that, what's your sense? How are we doing? Midterm report, Steph.
You want me to give you a grade?
Yeah, give me a grade and an explainer.
I'm going to go with an A-, to be honest, because it has to be an A, the top grade, because we are top of the league and we are top of the Champions League group stage. So, and we've won a hell of a lot of games. Where the minus comes into it is just a few moments in a few games, maybe just, approached it in a way that in hindsight, maybe not at the time, but certainly in hindsight, we could have maybe approached a bit differently. Liverpool was certainly there for the taking, as a lot of their form has shown. The Man City game was very disappointing, uncharacteristic, moment of panic.
But an important equaliser.
Very important equaliser.
We'd be level on points now.
Oh, well, exactly. In a similar way that the Sunderland game, which obviously we just dissected to death last week, but to have come back into it and shown that character to then, invite that pressure. Just, those little niggles. Yeah. A lot of it is not of our doing. Like you say, all those players missing is clearly going to have an impact. But, yes, an A minus. Great.
Chris?
Is that the same as B+? Or does it go B+ then A minus?
Yes.
That's right, okay.
Different. B sounds a bit worse than an A. Come on.
Yeah. I mean, I'm kind of in the same ballpark as you, and I think there's a recency bias because of the Sunderland game. If you'd have put that draw at the beginning of the season and then had this incredible run of wins, the stats would look the same. But the recency of, as you said, Holly, the way we feel after the Sunderland game, and it wasn't even a loss, has informed a lot of this break, the feeling during this break, I think, that we're stewing over it and we're picking it to pieces. And it's just a bit too much of that kind of, for me, glass half empty feeling. So I'm kind of with you, Steph. I'm about that A minus as well. And similarly, as you said about having fewer players available, which is not our fault per se, although we could argue, as Holly, you said you were going to come to the idea of maybe why we're getting all these injuries. But yeah, I just feel like we've just performed brilliantly.
Can we have an A minus, A plus, 3 step?
So I thought that's how it would work.
Okay, well, in that case, I would up it from an A minus to an A.
Yeah. Okay.
I just think, I mean, if you look at October, 6 wins, 6 clean sheets, no manager of the month, obviously. That makes sense. November, 3 games, 2 wins, 1 draw. Is that right? 2 wins, 1 draw. We've scored with I think the third top scorers, but we're only 1 and 2 goals behind the top scorers, and we've got the best defence. Like, it's ridiculous. You compare this international break to the previous one. We've enhanced our position over every team, and if it was to carry on like this, it'll be a procession to the league title. I'm saying if it carried on like this, it would be. It's conditional and tentative language I'm using, everybody. But it would. And, past performance is no indication or guarantee of future results as such. So we'll just look at the past performance, and it's pretty phenomenal. If I'd offered you guys 14 wins and 2 draws from the first 17 matches we played, considering the schedule that we had as well, you'd have snapped the hand off.
Yeah, absolutely.
Steph, you put something out onto the socials.
I did.
What were the before you go through any of those? What were the categories that you put out?
So I asked people for a grade on how the season has gone so far, as we've just discussed. I also asked for people for their what went well and their even better if. What would be the one thing that if they could go back and change, and that's going to be a fairly obvious one, isn't it? I also asked people what their target might be looking ahead. I didn't actually specify a time frame, whether it's for the rest of the season or just for the next sort of period of games. I see the next period of games in the kind of run up to Christmas myself, to be honest. But
okay, well, I've got the next 6 games for each of the 3 contenders, if you like, and that takes us up to the 14th of December.
Okay, so do you want a few of the things that people
what's your what went well?
What went well for me was navigating those first 6 games, I think it was. Because, when the fixture list came out, we all looked at United away, we looked at Liverpool away, we looked at City at home, Newcastle away as well, and we thought, oh, blimey, that's a season where if we get the start right, we'll feel very confident, as we are. You're saying we've done well, A's, grades and all that kind of thing. So the fact that we navigated that with the right attitude incredibly successfully, and that's even with some drop points here and there. The Liverpool game was a world-class free kick from Szoboszlai, and the Man City game showed the character to come back and score that late equaliser. So to then sit atop of the pile is great. So that went well for me.
Even better if?
I mean, it has to be the injuries, doesn't it? even better if we had everyone available. The Havertz one is probably the most key because Gyökeres's injury came at the end of this run of games, and it's probably because he played far more minutes than we'd initially intended. Havertz would have been the natural rotation. Even Gabby Jesus would have been a rotation for him. If Madueke was available, he might have, dovetailed a little bit more for Gyökeres, or at least made game states a little bit more comfortable. So what worries me is if there is some bigger factor involved in those injuries. Are we just too intense as a team? Do we need that depth available in order to counter that? So we've been very good in defence.
That could be training as well as games.
Could be training. Training is very intense. I was literally, just before we started recording, watching a clip of some kind of rondo going on with people passing. And Gabriel Heinze and Gabriel, and I think Trossard was in there as well. I mean, it's like a game. It's, it's full focus, full bore. So I don't know when that was from. Obviously, it was last week or two or something. But yeah, it's intense.
Chris,
yeah,
what went well?
No. I'm just at the risk of repeating. I just think you've covered it there, Steph. So nothing to add, really.
Okay, so what did we get from listeners?
Friend of mine who often gives me a lift to the supporters coach to get there, George, messaged on our TikTok. That's also at North Bank Pod, by the way. Anyone who is thinking of followers on there. And I have to say, kudos to George. As you know, Holly and I are teachers, and he's very much written it in the style of a teacher writing a report. So well done, George. He's put, predicted grade is an A, brackets, in old money. There is room for improvement, but showing positive signs of a successful exam season. With a little more hard work and determination, they're capable of an A star. Some unfortunate illnesses have affected academic performance, but in spite of this, they are still achieving good marks in tests. Must make sure they learn from slip-ups and keep their chin up, especially if they want to finish the year top of the class.
Very good.
Very good.
Thank you, Georth. I like that. That was.
Has he ever considered a career in teaching?
Funnily enough, that's exactly what I responded using the pod account. So there is a shortage of teachers in the country. So
George,
nice.
Get your application in.
There you go. Absolutely right. Next was our good friend Tabs at the Grove podcast. He's very businesslike, straight to the point. Okay. 1. A, based on being where we are and all the records broken despite major injury to primary players. So it's a grade A for the Arsenal. 2, what went well? Defensive prowess. That clean sheet run, obviously, record-breaking run or record-equaling run in some respects as well, which is really good. Even better if injuries, same as what we've said. And then his target for the future is win the lot. Just focus on the next game, win that, and move on. So nice, easy thing to achieve. Good. Okay, right. Someone who's messaged in quite a lot on the past on our BlueSky social media. So that's at northbankpod.bsky.social because they've got a weird thing on your handle on there. And this is Jazz Tahara. Hello, Jazz. He's given us a B+/A-. So that was probably saying where you thought we were, Chris, in that sort of ballpark. He says, what went well? Generally going very well. It's been an issue of execution in attack. Even better if less injuries. Over-reliance on certain players due to those injuries, which cost us 2 points versus Sunderland. And the target for the future is X0 games, a complete shutout game, 0 shots from the opposition in a 90 minutes. So no shots whatsoever. Not just no shots on target. He wants no shots. I mean, I'm all for it.
It's possible.
It's possible. If any team can do it, it feels like...
Where else can this team go defensively? That's it.
Exactly. So that is, that would be interesting to see, just no shots. I mean, that would really rile up all those people who are starting to talk about boring Arsenal. But it's like, that's not our fault. That's because we're really good at shutting the team out. It's up to the opposition to think of a way round us. And then finally, although they have some other points which I might bring up later, Ars Wenger's also on BlueSky, who's often messaging. Hello, Ars Wenger's, very supportive of the pod. The grade we're currently working at, B+. What went well? Gyökeres. just Gyökeres on its own. Even better if, and I like this as an English teacher, the way they've written it, even better if we had two Gyökereses, and they've literally written it as
it should be Gyökerai.
And then target for the future is cloning. Being able to clone our players so that if they are injured, we can just roll another one out. So yeah,
well,
for that.
We've started doing that with the Waneri's brother, who's making his way up the ranks now. So
hasn't Timber got a twin?
He has. Twin.
But he's obviously of his age and playing in Holland. I think still just Quentin.
Quentin, that's it. Yeah. Maybe we started it with getting loads of Gabrielles and just like mixing them up, taking all their DNA and just like spawning it together. Okay, yeah, so everyone's really quite positive, and it's just about keeping it going and making sure everyone's injury-free and we can sustain it.
And we're in the League Cup quarterfinals as well.
Yeah. A couple of days before Christmas.
Slightly controversial rescheduling of that game.
Well, rescheduling of the Everton game now as well.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about. The Everton game. Sorry. So I'm in favour of it because it gives the players the 3 days to recover ahead of the Palace game. But I'd much rather be playing Everton at 2:00 on a Sunday than 8:00 on a Saturday evening. I think there's an advantage, an alcoholic advantage to the Evertonians.
That'll be a spicy atmosphere.
It will be hostile, won't it?
First Arsenal-Everton game at the Hill Dickinson. Oof.
Mind you, they gave us a warmer send-off last season from Goodison because they thought we were capable of denying Liverpool the league, but
True.
That's not necessarily the case this year, as in Liverpool aren't, at the moment, the big threat that we thought they would be at this point. But yeah.
And still, just because we're talking about Everton and Liverpool, my favourite thing from last season, although, for us it was a bit of a weird season, was just the Everton fan who bought all the blue flares and packaged them as red flares. So they set them off at their celebration. That is just so funny. I will never tire of hearing about
that. That is very clever. That's a devious mind, that is. I love it. Nothing else?
No, that's it for now.
Okay. Right, so I was giving it a mark out of 10, so I was giving this 9 out of 10. That was the next thing I wrote down there. I just thought I'd share that. I realised I wasn't doing a grading system at all as per the British educational system, but never mind. I did look at I got distracted there a minute ago. I saw that Declan Rice has been substituted on 65 minutes, which made me panic a little bit, but actually there was a triple substitution at the same time, so it wasn't an injury. Saka is still on the pitch, so 82 minutes in. For context, you've obviously worked out, we're recording this on Thursday evening. England are leading against Serbia 1-0, and it's 82 minutes. Saka scored an absolutely fantastic goal, and should have been substituted straight afterwards, but Tuchel's an idiot, and he's kept him on. For some reason.
Just on that, there was a bit of confusion, led mainly by Sam Matterface on the commentary, because after Saka had scored and kind of celebrated, he signalled something to the bench. And yeah, there was a sort of that classic substitution rolling your hands thing as well. But there was another thing where he made a kind of T shape with his hands. So people were very confused about what was going on. And then they were literally, the camera fixed on him going, is he limping? What's going on? Is he limping? And I'm there watching it going, oh no, Saka, no, why?
Was he just like one of those racetrack bookies?
Yeah. A little bit.
He was doing sign like he wants a roll up and a cup of tea.
Pulling on his ear, going, 2-1,
yeah.
his eyes, moving his glasses or whatever. And he just basically, he wanted to change his boots. So that was a bit of an anticlimax, never mind. And he's played for remainder of the game. Yeah,
just on the internationals, we've got Saliba with France, Trossard, Belgium, Zubimendi, Merino and Raya with Spain, Rice, Eze, Saka with England, Timber with Holland, Norgard, Denmark, Calafiori with Italy. There's a little bit of a concern over him. He's not playing tonight. He's had to train on his own, was the way I read it, which is odd. Yep. You said something like a hip injury or something like that.
Was what I saw. Although I only saw it from one of those sort of like news aggregator things. Yeah. So as for the actual source, in the very brief time I had, I don't know.
And
He's expected to play the next game, is what I
that's
heard.
the idea. Yes, that was certainly the way it was couched.
Why? If there's any risk, don't. Like, I don't get it.
I guess they'll assess him ahead of that game.
Yeah.
They're just trying
And Gabriel's with Brazil, and I think they're the last ones to play as ever. But don't worry, there's not much travelling. He's playing at the Emirates in his first game, and their second game is in France at Lille. So,
But he's not the last to play, because I had a look at a little bit of the schedule, because they obviously do it in 2 batches, don't they? The last to play in South America, it will be in Capié with Ecuador. So he'll be returning back quite late, isn't he?
not even on my list, and I got my list from Arsenal.com.
Oh, right, okay. Well,
is it a friendly?
Yeah, it's probably a meaningless friendly of some kind. So yeah.
Probably why.
Do you know what? On the Nkapie thing, is he our second choice left back?
Not yet, I would say.
Really?
Where's BlueSky in this?
Yeah. So there's this rumour, and I don't know who the journalist is, but again, I've referenced Arsblog. I'll reference him again. I read his blog this morning, and a journalist he didn't name kind of broke the story that it's connected with something Tuchel said in one of his press conferences about, not selecting BlueSky and he's not playing for Arsenal, and so there was this rumour or someone joining the dots suggesting that BlueSky might go on loan in January. Yes, and there was a big pile-on onto the quite nasty, apparently, and personal onto this journalist, which is unnecessary in itself. But it's not a story that is that shocking. It's not selling him. That Arsenal will not countenance that, and he's very happy at Arsenal. Hand of Arsenal that did reply when that kind of rumour mill went into overdrive a few days ago and said that no, BlueSky is very happy at Arsenal and he just signed his contract and there's no regret or anything like that at all. He's 18. 19. Yeah, exactly. He's 19. He might be 19 now. And he's played a lot. And he's going to have to fight. He's at Arsenal. He's going to have to fight for his place. And he will do. And it's no suggestion that he's agitating at all. But it is a World Cup year. And he was, I think, did he start for England in the last game? Like the last international break?
Yeah. He has done recently.
And he's not even in the squad. Because he's not
the question would be, where is his ideal position, for the future?
Well, for this season, it's left back.
Right, but with a view to moving him perhaps and transitioning him into midfield.
Okay, so who has to not play for him to get the nod in midfield?
Well, it could be you could be talking about a Norgard replacement in a season or two's time. I don't know. I'm just speculating.
That's fine. This is only because it's World Cup year, and it would be a loan move from January to the end of the season. It's not anything more long term or permanent than that. And so the more I think about it, the more it makes sense. Now, I don't want it to happen
for him
as an Arsenal fan, but from his perspective, if the opportunity came, the question would be like, where would he go? There's no point him leaving Arsenal to go to a club if he's not going to be guaranteed game time. And is anybody going to guarantee anybody game time in that sense? But that would have to be part of the conversation because he might as well stay at Arsenal. And the way we're stacking up injuries, he may well play a lot more than he realises. We were worried about, how many minutes is Madueke going to get or Eze going to get? What position is Eze going to play? And well, do you know what? They've all got a lot more minutes than they thought, those who are available. So it's just... Go on.
I was just going to say, especially when you look at the England team tonight. So left back is O'Reilly. Young English centre-back playing at Man City. Now, he's in there at the moment. I think Gvardiol has got a slightly longer-term injury. So he's playing.
He's playing at centre-back.
Oh, is he? Has he moved him centre-back? Okay, right, fine. Well,
and Livramento is another full-back, isn't he? But he's injured at the moment.
Or Lewis Hall, I think, is the left-back.
Right.
Livramento he can play left-back, but he plays right.
Okay. So it was just an odd one that when I first heard it, I thought, no way. But further examination, you can see how it would make sense, certainly from the player's perspective. But again, I don't want it to happen. I want him to stay. I think, like you said, Chris, he's not just a left back. He can come on in midfield, and he's a great ball carrier. And if we're really looking for a goal to get us over the line in a game, or back into a game, then he's an option. He's an option certainly on the bench. And I think he started 2 games in the Champions League and 2 games in the League Cup, but not. He hasn't started a game in the league, in the Premier League yet. So his minutes have fallen quite considerably. But okay, who's our main rival at the moment then? Steph, who's our main rival?
Erling Haaland.
FC.
FC.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Go on, Chris.
No, I'd agree. I mean, we all thought Liverpool were unstoppable. I don't think anyone could say they thought they were going to fall off as they have done. But I always had a feeling that City were, despite their slow start, that they were going to gather some momentum. So,
Do you think, Chris? Do you think Liverpool are a challenger now? Are a threat still?
As objectively as possible, I just feel like there is too much flux within the setup. The imbalance is going to take a while to sort out for me. Wirtz, for example, came there on a promise of playing more centrally. He's now being shunted out to the left if he's going to play at all. Where do you then fit in Ekitike and Isak to keep them happy? It just seems like there's a lot of moving parts and it doesn't quite fit.
And that's not even talking about their defence.
Yeah. Well, yeah. And again, a kind of mismatch of defenders where you've got kind of wing backs playing at fullback.
The 2 full-backs they bought are now not starting.
Right. So they've
Kirkes
reverted.
and Frimpong aren't starting. They've gone back to, they've gone back to Conor Bradley, but in the absence of Trent, they've gone to Conor Bradley and they've gone back to Andy Robertson at left back.
Yeah. And they've got, as we predicted, a Salah and a Van Dijk who are peaking and possibly going down the other side of that peak.
Only natural, yeah.
Yeah. So as objective as possible. That's all. I'm not goading here, as you may wish to, Holly.
No. Steph wants me to, so he can clip it.
Absolutely. I saw a post, the way you get suggested random things on social media about the fact that Liverpool have lost Diaz and Darwin Núñez, who did all the hard running.
Eze's just scored.
Has he?
Hey. Well, it's just flashed up 2-0 Eze. So
nice, okay.
Unless VAR take it off, I don't know.
Of course.
Sorry, Steph.
Yeah, so, the fact that Diaz was sold to Bayern and Núñez, I think he ended up going to Saudi, didn't he? Darwin Núñez.
I don't know, to be fair.
But they did a lot of running and hard work, and they were a bit maligned, Darwin Núñez especially at Liverpool, but they probably freed up Salah to stay as high and just be as focused on goals as he did. And now that kind of running isn't there in the front line, and Liverpool players work hard, don't get me wrong, but it's a different kind of balance. And Salah's not as prolific as he was. He was never going to be. I mean, it was an amazing season last season. So, yeah, like you say, Chris, a lot of flux. And some of the players they've lost are also being sort of made up for, as well as the ones they've got in.
I thought it at the time. Absolutely delighted they didn't get Mark Gay on deadline day, because I think he would have made a huge difference at the back. I mean, the thinking is that they're going to go in for him in January, aren't they? Surely that they'll pay a fee for him. Is it worth it, or will they just write off this season in the league if they've not improved? I mean, by then,
watching the Liverpool-Man City game last week, it was I almost felt sorry for Konate, the way Man City clearly organised their press as if to say, when he's got the ball, leave him alone. Just leave him alone, because he'll misplace a pass or he'll panic and he won't know what to do. So just leave him alone. And it was so obvious to see that they were targeting him as a weak point in possession that it was like, oh, yeah, okay. He can be got out when isolated like that. And it was very well done by City.
Sorry, just Republic of Ireland is still 2-0 up against Portugal. That's brilliant.
That's a great result.
Cyprus playing?
I don't know. I did have a quick look and I couldn't see whether they were.
They're not playing tonight.
That would be like the full house, wouldn't it? If Cyprus were hammering San Marino or something. Yeah.
Do you think, Chris, there are any other contenders outside of City and Liverpool and Arsenal?
No, for the title, no, I don't. I just
Chelsea?
think, no, I just think they're still finding their feet as well. Again, they've just got so many options. It's difficult to know. And long-term injuries as well aren't helping. So I don't really see them as long-term sustainable, able to sustain the campaign.
What about Sunderland?
I'd love to see them get into Europe. I really would.
It's weird. I've got this weird feeling. It's very conflicted, but I was obviously gutted and disappointed, and still am to a degree, that we dropped 2 points at Sunderland. But it keeps coming back to me what a fantastic stadium it is. I was perched up in like the third from back row, and the view and it was just brilliant. The floodlights obviously help anyway, with kind of the romance of a football match. But I think it's just a brilliant. I'd never been to Stadium of Light before. I'd never been to Roker Park, and I'm just it was such a great experience. It's so gutting that the result wasn't what it should have been, but such is life. Steph, any other contenders apart from us three?
So, doing the classic thing, mathematically, the idea that, we've got a 4-point gap on City, but you go back, what's been made up, probably a double figures. Someone might have been 10 points ahead and then that's been sort of chased down. I don't know.
Well, my Man United mate pointed out that they lost an 8-point lead with 6 games to go.
Right, well, there you go. So exactly. So in terms of all that, anything down to sort of, it's because it's quite concertinaed at the sort of middle part as well. I mean, there's 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 5 teams on 18 points. Okay, so that's 8 points behind us. So should any of those go on a particular run, that's fine. But then it comes back to what you were saying, Chris, about who do you see being consistent enough in order to put that run together? Well, us and City, yes. Liverpool, you still have to say for the quality of players that there are around in that squad, but at the moment it looks a little bit the ship is listing quite a lot. And as for everyone else, there's flaws. You can see sort of flaws. It's Chelsea with their change and their young team, and just so many red cards at the moment, which is insane. Spurs with that home form. Man United, who are everyone is still in banter mode with, but they're above Liverpool. I saw a brilliant stat. In 2025, and I normally hate those calendar year stats, in 2025, Liverpool have lost more games than Man United. Yeah. I couldn't believe that when I heard it. But, the rhetoric and the vibe and the perception of Man United is maybe lagging behind the fact that they are starting to put some semblance of an idea together.
And it came after they made the 2 most sensible signings, and Mbeumo and Cunha, 2 signings that I would have been happy at Arsenal.
Yes.
And you're thinking, oh, God, they're good. They're not going to be... With Sesko, you're thinking, yeah, you know what, he could flounder, but you knew that Mbeumo and Cunha were not going to struggle. They were going to hit the ground running.
I mean, I would argue that it wasn't necessarily the part of the team that needed the most
but it made them more dangerous.
But it made them far more dangerous. Cunha, Mbeumo, ready to go in the Premier League. Both of them said Man United, so there'll be a level of commitment there to them as well. And like you say, that will make other parts of the team work better because they are performing at a level. And
in theory, they're only one player away from that solidity as well as that attacking flair, and that's that defensive midfielder.
Yeah.
And the worry would be they'd go out and get someone like Elliot Anderson or Adam Wharton. Baleba they kind of were linked with, but he's had a real dip in form, maybe as a consequence of that interest from Man United. So I don't know whether they got back in for him and whether Brighton would get the £100 million that they want for him. But, yes, they're not a threat this season for the league, but do you know what? They're in the conversation if they make that signing next season. I still think central defence. Then, well,
or would it be too late by then? Yeah, we'll see where we're at.
Yeah. Okay. Nobody else. We haven't talked about Spurs. Spurs are funny.
Injuries. I mean,
But
they're decimated by injuries, as well as, new manager. They're trying to find their feet. They've got a completely different system that they're trying to embed now, and it's proving very difficult at home because they're playing an off-ball game. Sorry, Steph, you're going to say?
I don't know. I've got the table in front of me, and I'm just laughing because at the moment they're 5th in the Premier League. They finished. Did they finish 16th or 17th? I think it was
15th or 17th. United and Spurs. I don't know which way around it was.
They finished. They were awful last season, and yet because they had that Europa League run, it seemed to keep everyone prepared. They're 5th in the Premier League at the minute, and the season's barely getting started with a new manager and with injuries, and they're booing the players off the pitch. Like, can't win. Like they're
the Jekyll and Hyde. I don't know if it's the correct descriptor for them, because in their home and away form, they got the best away form and the worst home form, or like the 17th worst home record.
And it's the eye test, Steph. When the stats will say, "Yeah, we're doing all right," but if you're there watching them at White Hart Lane, that you can see the sort of turgid displays they're turning in versus what Ange was trying to do, which was at least have a go, where they would probably applaud a team, playing the Ange ball because it was more enjoyable to watch. And eventually it wears you down because the results aren't there.
The issue is we don't know who they are yet, as opposed to this is who we are, mate. We don't know who they are yet. So, and I'm a little bit concerned that their away form, I think we're the perfect team for them.
Well, yes.
At home, and that would be a concern. And again, we'll just see what players are available for both teams before before we judge how we feel about that North London derby coming up. And when is Cole Palmer back for Chelsea?
I don't know. I haven't heard anything.
I mean,
not imminently.
Yeah, chances are that he won't be fit enough to start our game at this rate, at least, you'd think. Because I think he's obviously a big player for them, and I'd much rather face Chelsea without him in it.
He is. I wonder if it simplifies things for Maresca when he's not there. Because he's still not really locked down. Is he that central 10 player? Is he a wide
he's still very good,
player?
though.
Oh, he's an amazing player. Whatever happens, you get him in the team.
Yeah,
but I wonder if there's an element of, a bit like with Havertz, in that, what's his USP? What's his defining role in a team to make it all work? Or maybe his role is fine, but then how do you fit the other pieces around it? I think that's still got to be solved. He's class, don't get me wrong.
Sums up Chelsea, really.
Steph, you mentioned red cards. Chris, you had an interesting observation.
Yes, a segue from Chelsea. They are currently bottom of the Fair Play League.
Excellent.
And we are top. And
what?
I just wanted to,
top of another league.
Don't pretend that you didn't know that I'd said this to you before.
Chris, don't spoil the illusion, man.
So. Yes, I'd noticed earlier that we were top of the Fair Play League, and it just got me thinking as to why we are top of the Fair Play League, and it would be interesting to know what you guys think.
Well,
compared to last year, we had red cards all over the place.
Yes, but why?
Referees realised they screwed up repeatedly with us last season, and now they're not.
Giving the referees some credit, which I really don't want to do, a little bit. Look at some of them. So even we said that with that ridiculous Declan Rice yellow card, he nudged the ball. Gave him a choice. With Trossard booting the ball away against City, it was a petulant sort of reaction.
That's Michael Oliver, and that's corrupt.
I don't necessarily disagree with
City.
that, but at City, the more bizarre ones were the Saliba red card against Bournemouth, which was just miles away from the pitch, never a goal-scoring opportunity.
The penalty,
the header,
the head.
The Brighton one, you've never seen again. Oh, just because, it hit the guy's head first and blah, blah. Nonsense. Absolute nonsense, exactly. So I wonder if there has been a kind of mellowing.
Reversion to the mean kind of
Well,
thing.
reversion to the mean, but also in terms of our players, what I like about our players this year is there seems to be a seriousness about them.
A focus.
Not an aggression, not a wildness about them, just a focus. about them as well. And I wonder if that focus also encapsulates how we calm our temperance during the game as well. I hope it's that. But also it could be that the referees are looking at it going, oh, yeah, maybe we'll just, we'll
I'm going to say something now, which is I should not say before we play Spurs and Chelsea.
Oh, please don't say it. God. No, I beg you.
We haven't
He's doing
been
it,
on the receiving end of a egregious decision yet, have we?
He said it.
No.
We haven't walked away from a game thinking we were robbed.
No.
By officials this season. And they seem to have happened many times by this time last season even.
Are we playing the games generally and approaching them in a more calm demeanour?
I think what you said, Steph, about trying to extract the emotion from situations is a big part of it for me. You know, we're not giving the referee a decision to make in that sense. Plus, I think there is that reversion to the mean thing of it couldn't possibly get any more bizarre in the amount of decisions that went against us last season. It couldn't. It was just so outrageous that we've had to come down, you know, by law of averages to a more sensible. Plus, if I can just chuck this in, I think the way we're playing, we're more canny in where we make fouls as well. And I think because we're camping more, well, I think we've got a high line and we're playing the game in the opposition half. I think the fouls, the little kind of concession fouls that you make are probably happening further up the pitch where you're less likely to get a yellow.
Yeah. No, absolutely. I can see that.
Yeah. I've written down we're muting the opposition as well.
Yeah.
You know, the opposition are realising that we're not going to retaliate. We're not going to.
Which that also dampens the emotion, doesn't it? It's like we're winning both sides.
Yeah, I can't think of a game this season where there's been any kind of altercation, any squaring up, any handbags. You know, all of those sorts of things. Like
Slavia Prague.
We're just not entering that. I mean, Slavia Prague, when their giant centre forward tried to square up to Incapia.
But that was nothing. I mean, that was
just nothing,
handbags,
exactly.
Yeah.
And the referee, dealt with it as such. So, yeah, just emotionless and
have we had Michael
serious.
Oliver connected to any game we've been in this season?
No.
I think they're keeping him away from us, aren't they?
Well, but they should keep him away from Man City and associated games. That's what they should really keep him away from.
While we're talking about that, because it's recent in the memory, obviously Liverpool had that goal ruled out at the weekend, which
how do you feel about that?
I thought it should have been a goal. I think actually the Man City players blocking Donnarumma more than Robertson was, to be honest. So I can see that. What makes me laugh is, and I love the social media detectives who go hunting for like posts from the past. In 2023, Carragher, interviewed pitchside, said Arsenal are going too far by putting in a request or a complaint to the PGMOL because of the decisions that have gone against them. And funnily enough, Liverpool have done just that. And is Carragher there going, maybe Liverpool have gone too far? No, he's not, because, he's as biased as we are about these things, but he doesn't own it, and that's the bit we don't like.
Have you heard the audio that...
I won't listen to it.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't interest me, but what did they say?
I'm not sure it was the VAR or the lino, but basically it was immediate as soon as the goal had gone in. It's obstruction. It was obstruction.
The lino did.
You want to have a look at that? Yeah, but he was so adamant.
Yeah, but the linesman's fair enough. From his position, he can't see. I don't have an issue with the referee's assistant flagging that. That's not a problem.
But then it goes to VAR, right?
Yeah, but that's Michael Oliver on VAR. It's like... So at no point was Robertson in the eye line of the keeper. Like it was a shocking decision. It made no difference to the outcome of the game. Liverpool stank the place out, and I haven't heard a Liverpool fan say anything contrary to that either in their defence. I'm actually quite pleased they've lodged an official complaint because it'll shut them up.
We've been saying for how long?
It's not
refereeing is all our problem.
Exactly.
It's not just
exactly.
Arsenal fans whinging; it's everyone's problem. And it was us last season, and actually, it maybe Wolves the season before with a few dodgy decisions.
The Michael Oliver and Man City thing's a real thing. There's some of those incidents. I mean, they're shocking. Like they're shocking. Well, he's on their books. Like so, even subconsciously.
Yeah. There's a notorious social media clip featuring Arsenal fan Matt P, who is he's on a show with a Man City fan and says, here's why Michael Oliver and Man City is a problem. And like you say, just outlined all the different decisions, then talked about the fact that he refereed a game in the UAE for a team that's owned by Manchester City and was paid money on top of his referee wages. Clearly a conflict of interest. In any other industry, it would be seen as such, especially in politics. Can you imagine what would happen if that scandal like that came out? And so, it's a problem for everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there we go.
I've looked ahead to the next 6 games.
You have.
Taken us to the 14th of December. And we'll do I went to look back and I couldn't work out. I think we did a group assessment. We got Man City getting 16 points from their last 6 games, and I think we were not far off that. We over predicted Liverpool's results, obviously hilariously over predicted their results, and we came pretty close to ours as well. I think we did ourselves down a little bit. I can't remember anyway. So I'm going to make a proper note of these ones. So I've actually written the dates down as well. So the first game up is Man City are away to Newcastle on the 22nd. What do we think?
Man City win.
Chris? Now, typically, Pope went off injured. Anthony Gordon went off injured. Joe Linton is injured. I don't know whether they're going to be back for the visit of City, but it's like, great. We get all of them. It does mean Aaron Ramsey can put in a man of the match performance for his old teammates, but anyway.
Go on, Rambo.
Chris, what do you reckon?
Yeah, I desperately want it to be a draw, but City win.
Okay. We'll go with the what do you call that? The majority.
The majority.
Yeah.
Consensus.
Liverpool at home to Forest, same day.
Home win.
Yeah, I think so. Arsenal home to Spurs on the Sunday. Those of you listening, the faces of these two are quite the sight. They're in pain.
Arsenal win,
home win. Come on.
Yeah. Okay, 29th of November, City home to Leeds. Okay, I've written it down already.
Home win.
Can I just say, Arsenal will probably beat Tottenham because Thomas Frank is a massive Arsenal fan. He loves Arsenal. He's so positive about us when he speaks about us.
30th of November, we go to Chelsea.
Draw.
Sunderland beat Chelsea at Chelsea in their last game there.
Did they?
2-1.
Yeah.
Being 1-0 down as well, I think.
I have I find that really hard to call.
No, win. I'm going to win.
Oh, so then I get you had to say that, so now I've got the deciding vote. Win. Just.
Well done.
Well done.
I'm proud of your son.
Thanks.
Liverpool go to West Ham.
And win.
Yeah, I think so. Into December. 2nd of December, Man City travel to Fulham.
And win.
Yeah.
Okay. For the record, I'm putting down a draw for that game, but you two said win, so I'll go win. I just think it's the game that City will trip up in.
I don't know if Fulham have great shakes at the minute. But
3rd of December, we are home to Brentford.
Yeah, midweek.
I think we win that.
And Liverpool are home to Sunderland.
Draw.
Ooh, yeah, draw.
Oh, well done. Excellent. 6th, for the only time in this 6-game batch, all three of us play on the same day, the 6th of December. We go to Villa.
Oh, I hate going there.
And we have not got the best record at at that place. How did we
Draw.
get on there last season? What was it last season?
We won.
I went there. I can't remember it.
I'll
Yeah,
go
we
draw
won.
as
It was
well.
early in the
so-
season, and we won.
Oh, yeah, Trossard off the bench. It was that game.
We'll win that one.
Oh, me and Steph have said draw, so.
Oh, yeah.
City host Sunderland.
City win.
Yeah.
Okay. Liverpool go to Leeds.
Liverpool win.
Draw.
Win.
Liverpool. Leeds.
But, I mean, I'm very much picking these Liverpool results based on Liverpool in here rather than the Liverpool we've seen this season. Okay. Then we are home to Wolves on the 13th.
Win.
Yep.
Liverpool are home to Brighton on the same day.
Draw.
Yeah, draw.
Okay. And City travel to Palace on the 14th, the next day.
Draw.
Let's go draw, yeah.
Okay. Right. Oh, quick. 3, 6, 9, 12, 13. That puts us on 39 points.
Woohoo.
3, 6, 9, 12, 13. City on 35 points, so gap as you were. And Liverpool 3, 6, 9, and 2, 11. Liverpool on 29. So we're 10 points clear of Liverpool. So we've stretched the lead over Liverpool by 2 points. So it's not massive. Which set of fixtures do you think is more? Which set of fixtures would you rather have? I'm just going to read out ours and City's. Okay. Spurs home, Chelsea away, Brentford home, Villa away, Wolves home. That is hard.
That's not great.
That is difficult. Compare that to City's. Newcastle away, Leeds home, Fulham away, Sunderland home, Palace away. There's banana skin. That's a banana skin run, that is. There's no Big Six game there.
Yeah, I think ours is harder because of the Big Six
thing.
The Spurs, Chelsea
London
games.
derbies.
London
yeah.
derbies as well. So
Yeah.
there's a bit more emotion in those. But then, yeah, I'd rather have City's games.
I'm not sure, you know. And I go back to the beginning of the season. The way we approached those opening 6 games of the season, they were difficult. Like you've already listed, you know, Anfield, Old Trafford, St James's Park, hosting City, hosting a Nottingham Forest team who qualified for Europe. We didn't know what mayhem would occur there with Marinakis, but the only easy game we had was Leeds at home in the opening 6. And I think that because they were so difficult on paper, it completely focused us. You cannot ask for a tougher return after international football than Spurs home, Bayern Munich home, Chelsea away. And I just think it will concentrate us again. And, you know, touch wood, we do have... I mean, I think, apart from Jesus, the 5 players currently sidelined will all return in those for those 3 games, as in maybe not all for the first game, but by the end of that third game,
Should be there.
that all 5 players will have kind of made the bench at least.
So Amanda at the Same Old Arsenal podcast, who's been a guest on the show before, before the Sunderland game, she did post something out about, you know, the banana skin of going up to Sunderland, and asked people how they felt, and I replied that actually in the Premier League they all are. They all can be. Wolves is probably the exception at the moment because they're in a really torrid run of form, And then I remembered there was some discussion on a European football podcast that I was listening to where they were sort of talking about how English teams are doing so well. You know, there are quite a few well placed in the Champions League and Europa and the Conference as well. The spending power of the Premier League means those middle to lower clubs in the Premier League now are able to outspend most teams in Europe, apart from like you traditionally big teams as well. So actually there is a huge amount of talent in that sort of middle order of the Premier League that is incredibly tough to face, you know, on a sort of, you know, week to week basis. So all of those games, the added spice of Chelsea Spurs for us obviously does raise it. But like you say, Sunderland, Palace, Fulham for City, none of those are. I mean, they are favourites to go and win all of those games, but you absolutely can see them dropping points in one of them or two of them. Like, yeah, absolutely.
If you look at their 6 games, Leeds at home
is the one that's the banker, yeah. Like, Leeds are not in great shape.
I've made a mistake.
Oh, what?
I've only got 5 Newcastle games, Man City games. I've only got 5 of all of us. Sorry, I'm an idiot.
You've done 5 games.
So that's all right. That's fine. I've just picked the next 5 games, not 6. That's all right. That's okay. Calm down again. We're okay. As you were.
I'm not editing that. It's just,
no, that's fine. I don't care. People can see I'm an idiot. It's not a problem. 30 years of teaching, my skin is thick. It's not a problem.
I could make a thick joke there, but I'm not going to.
Well, neither of you are maths teachers. We've established that.
Hang on.
So. You're not tarring me with his brush.
Hold on. My numbers were at least in several figures. You're dealing with the number 5 and the number 6.
Okay, point taken.
Whereas your mileage count had us going to the moon and back.
It did. I am sorry about that.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Right, before this descends into even more farce than it already is, let's sign off. Hopefully no injuries in this first tranche of games. We'll come back again and reconvene maybe on Sunday. I've long promised my Trossard segment, and it will arrive in Sunday's podcast. And he's just adding, since I said I was going to do one, he's just added more positive, good content to it, which is great. And we'll look, what we're doing, we'll look ahead to, we'll reassess how the internationals are going, and then we'll review the Spurs game, but not until the following week, the following Wednesday or Thursday. But anyway, enjoy the few days off Arsenal. Fingers, everything crossed that we're all healthy and so on. Cheers for the chat. Cheers for listening. Cheers for watching. See you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Just one last thing. Sorry. Leave where you are and where you're messaging from in our comments. But also, as we're recording on Sunday, why don't you also give us an any other business? You're going to do your Trossard segment. It will be a bit of a catch-all in the international break. So any other business, what's not being talked about? What's those like cold takes that people aren't sort of making? And get in touch. Thanks.
Now, bye.
The North Bank, an Arsenal podcast. Subscribe, rate and review on your app, and find us on your socials at North Bank Pod. Email hello@thenorthbankafc.com and check out our website, thenorthbankafc.com. Produced by the Podcast Company.